Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at Sandbox. Of course, getting a lot of requests from this because this is the coin that's still doing very well right now, all things considered. So just be mindful. We do have some FOMC meeting minutes today, some Fed meeting minutes that are coming out here in a few hours, and that could factor in to the price. A lot of times the price will increase as a result of that, but again, we'll see, of course, what happens here soon. Sandbox could positively be impacted there. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, right? I just love teaching people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. If you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a website, link down below. And what that basically does is provides you with a trading academy where you learn and grow as a better trader. I teach you everything that I know, essentially, as well as a trading community and signal group. So we're all learning and growing together, awesome experience, and I share my trades too, so you know how to structure yours effectively. Because honestly, right now, the way that the market is, you want to be kind of careful and strategic in how you plan your trades, right? You can't just do the same thing over and over again. So those are things that I cover, of course, daily, and we're always consistently learning and growing. So check that out in your own time. Thank you so much to my current community members for just making this an awesome part of my life. It's great to work with you. Taking a look here, though, at Sandbox. Here's kind of the bottom line, is it's doing fairly well, but what we want to do is obviously compare this with its Bitcoin pairing. In other words, if we take a look at Sandbox on the daily here for its Bitcoin pair, we can see that we're testing a previous resistance level, and this is effectively a cup and handle pattern, right? So what do cup and handle patterns do? They typically break to the upside. They'll come back down to retest the previous resistance, confirm it as a support, and then continue higher from there. So it's very strong likelihood Sandbox will increase in value here soon once we break through that. The second attempt to break through that cup and handle effectively is essentially why it's a very consistent pattern, because you're pushing through a resistance level and you're retesting it multiple times. So that little pattern there is a very, very good sign here, because of the simple fact that while this isn't the exact same on USDT, we do have a very similar-ish pattern. Even though it's not a straight line, it is still effectively going to potentially break to the upside here soon. Okay. So again, just some things to factor in there, because a lot of times when a Bitcoin pair of whatever coin that you're investing in is doing well, that's a good barometer for understanding where this coin could and should go to follow suit. All right. Really just telling us that Sandbox's value versus Bitcoin is much higher than the average coin right now. It's a great sign. All right, so taking a look at some standard stuff here, we can see the RSI is up over 50. We didn't really get much of a bounce there, but it's kind of treading above and below. So like I mentioned before, not really a big deal there. We don't need to worry much about that or focus on that. We can see, of course, we're still converging on the MACD and that retest of this level here, which we could see right around 127 as the resistance, is going to be a key level to break above. So if we can close above 127 today, there's a strong chance we'll see that continuation higher to retest that level, maybe come up to 135 and then retrace back down to effectively bounce off of that support established by the previous resistance. Okay. Again, something to think about. Definitely no guarantees, but it's looking more probable. It really just depends on what Bitcoin wants to do, because if Bitcoin pumps for the minutes here today, and then of course it just decreases in value afterwards, a sell-off, which we're used to, then it could be continuing that bearish pennant pattern. And if that were to happen, none of this is really going to work out very well for Sandbox. So please understand, this does rely on Bitcoin's fair amount of success, even though it's doing very well in an independent sense. If that makes sense. Hopefully that's clear. Right, clear as mud, they say, right? It's just, wow, I see exactly what you're saying. Feel free to watch that over again or rewind if you're not sure what I meant by that. Okay, so take a look here at the 4 hour. We can kind of see that we are making higher lows, which is a good consistent thing. We're also making higher highs as well. Okay, so these are good signs. That's ultimately what we're looking for, especially leading into a potential handle breakout, where we got the price action coming up here to retest 135. Okay, so 135 is going to be a point of contention. We should see exactly what happens with that here soon. But ultimately looking pretty good here. Taking a look, of course, at the RSI, we can see we're testing 70 on the RSI, and we've got kind of rejected a couple of times recently from there. So as you can see, we kind of almost have this cup and handle pattern here as well, right? I know it's a bit of a stretch, but generally speaking, we're retesting 70 at this point, and the likelihood of breaking through, I think, is fairly high, considering the overall momentum that we have here. But once again, being stuck under 70 on the RSI isn't a terrible thing. It'd be nice if the price came down to about 50. So if we get the price to average out sideways to right around the 120 mark, then we'll be able to see it increase from there. Okay, so very, very good stuff in that sense. All right, so yeah, ultimately Sandbox is looking and exuding some decent qualities here. See if we can confirm that with, I guess, well, the cloud will definitely confirm that we're above, but we're also clear of any price action here as well. So that's fantastic stuff. Conversion lines above the baseline, again, lagging span is free and clear of any price action, and we're above all of these moving averages here. So again, Sandbox is looking like it wants to continue to progress higher. And these are all green lights here, essentially just leave your long position open. Not necessarily to take a long position, but to leave it open if you have one. Okay, now you could still take an open position right now, but we don't truly have confirmation just yet. Confirmation to me is breaking through that key level resistance at 135, closing above, preferably on the daily, and at that point, take entry. Those are usually things that I like to wait for. But if you want to get in early, of course, I guess it wouldn't be terrible, but there's no guarantees the price is going to retain itself at this moment unless, depending on what what happens with Bitcoin today. And that's a big deal. That's something we want to pay attention to and understand. So I would just, kind of see what happens here today from Bitcoin. It's going to be very volatile. A lot of times when the minutes come out, it's just goes, it shoots up and shoots down often. So just be mindful of that. But generally speaking, here at this point, Sandbox is looking pretty decent, and all those extra factors aside, I think we have a strong likelihood of the price action continuing higher to kind of have that cup and handle pattern. Again, more so on the Bitcoin chart, but this is also getting close, a very close approximate to that. Okay, so again, I like what I see here on this chart. This Bitcoin chart looks very good. Okay, so again, very strong likelihood we're going to see something like that if we can break above. Again, there's no guarantees. It really depends on what happens today with the minutes and Bitcoin essentially. So just some things to kind of understand. All right, well, I hope that clarified a few things. Just want to kind of cover that and help you understand that we're looking pretty good here overall in the general sense of things for Sandbox. So hopefully you found benefit. If you did, comment below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you haven't already. And of course, if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is the website, link in the description below. I do offer discounts for military and third world countries as well. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.